As teenagers, we think that nothing is going to happen to us.
I'm here today because of my son Joshua.
The last 3 things I said to my daughter before she went out the door was, have a good time, be careful, I love you.
I always thought that I was really good and careful about my decisions that I made.
You just can't even comprehend what my family has gone through, and it's a pain that doesn't go away. For us, it started at 4:30 in the morning, and it's that typical every parent's nightmare, the knock at the door.
My phone rang. It was the chaplain from Mission Hospital.
That's when we found out that our son was actually in an accident.
He said my daughter had been involved in an accident. We need to come to the hospital, and we needed to see the chaplain when we got there.
We were drinking and didn't know that the driver was drinking.
Got off work, some of his friends, let's go have a drink. Now Josh is only 18, but he went and he was served.
September 29th, 2011, Dylan, who was my son's best friend since the 1st grade, and Joseph found themselves at a party near UNC Charlotte. Alcohol was being served. Nobody bothered to check how old they were. They were both 19 years old at the time.
They didn't just have a few drinks. They closed that bar down. His blood alcohol content turned out to be like 0.22.
They walked in, there was a big sign that says beer keg this way. There were pre-made margaritas. There was beer flowing. I mean, alcohol was just flowing freely with no type of supervision. And a lot of these kids that were there were under the age of 21.
And then I just remember seeing police car lights behind us. And then I was done after that.
His friends let him get in his car and drive away.
We get to the ICU unit, and we start back, and they immediately take us into a room. And the neurologist was there, and a young nurse, and she was brain dead.
And next thing I know, I wake up in the hospital with my dad beside me, holding my hand, telling me to fight this. I'm gonna get through it, to not give up.
Ended up going into the turn, ran the car off the road and slammed into a tree. Joseph was in the back seat, exactly the spot where the car hit the tree. Joseph was killed instantly.
And he ran into a concrete bridge abutment at over 70 miles an hour. It literally broke through the bridge and was hanging over, and his car caught fire.
1 minute she's here, the next minute she's gone.
Losing a child is something you just don't expect to have happen to you, and it's just unbelievable to bear.
I didn't really so much care about myself. That's probably why I was doing the things that I was doing. But my parents care the world about me. And I never really thought about how much my decisions affected them.
The reason we tell this story is Josh wants to tell it.
I want to make a difference. I want to make sure the parents know that this happens, and it can happen to your children, and it doesn't matter whether they're 11 or 20. It's underage drinking, and it has a consequence.
As I have learned over the years, alcohol, drugs, the place it starts is middle school.
Through all of this, I've found out who my real friends are and who's really there for me and who's not, and it's not what you think.
Now, after the fact, if I had to tell parents what they should be doing, I think they need to talk to their children.
You have to really listen. You have to pick up on what they're saying. What is their body language saying?
You can be intrusive. You're a parent. You're allowed to do that.
Honestly, I struggled. I didn't know how to handle it. It was something that I needed that education on, and quite honestly, maybe I didn't seek it out or didn't know where to go get it. And I think that's the missing link here is being able to provide that information to these parents to have that conversation.
Parents need to pay attention to this campaign because they don't want to have to walk the shoes I've walked. They don't want to have to be standing in an ICU unit with a neurologist telling them their child is brain dead.
Yeah. You know, it's something that it is replayed in your head over and over again. And obviously, as a parent, you're kicking yourself, what could I have done? What did I do? What did I do wrong? How could I have fixed this? How can I go backwards in time? And obviously you can't.
And I could only imagine how the parents of those families, or the families of those friends that I lost, are having to deal with.
We're all busy. Even your child is busy. But there's a responsibility that you can't be too busy to love and direct your child.